Hello everybody, my name is Alex Shrednozlak and I'm a film critic at FilmBook. Today, I'll be reviewing the 2020 superhero film, The New Mutants. The New Mutants was written and directed by Josh Boone. The film is also co-written by Nate Lee. The film stars Maisie Williams, Anya Taylor-Joy, Charlie Heaton, Alice Braga, and Blue Hunt. This is a spin-off of the X-Men series. 5 young mutants are held against their will in a secret facility after discovering their abilities. They are kept in this facility until each of them can learn to control their newly discovered gift. However, things take a turn once all of them begin experiencing horrifying hallucinations. This movie was put on the back burner for years. I believe it was originally supposed to come out in 2018, but for one reason or another, it just kept getting continuously pushed back. Usually when this happens, the studio isn't happy with the product and it needs to go through a bunch of rewrites and reshoots. So in an unprecedented move by 20th Century Studios, they decided to dump this movie into theaters slowly after they started to reopen. I guess you could say this was a test film to see how movies were going to do in general. And I won't keep you in suspense, I did not like this movie. I don't know if there was a good movie in there at one point, but the product that we were given is pretty disappointing. I was excited for it when the trailers came out. It looked like we were going to get a horror movie version of the superhero genre. It also has a great cast of young actors. I really like Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones, and Anya Taylor-Joy is in a lot of movies that I've seen recently that I really liked. I'm gonna have to guess that there was a lot of studio clashing with the filmmakers. One reason I say this is the script. You can tell there's sort of a character movie in this, but the studio definitely came in and told them to add more booms. A general rule of screenwriting is that every 10 pages or so, you need to have some sort of exciting action happening to keep the viewers interested. That doesn't necessarily mean you need like fight scenes or anything like that, but something significant needs to happen. I feel like the screenwriters didn't really do this, and the studio came in and told them to add a lot more explosions or just some sort of scary moments. I say this because every 10 minutes or so, some sort of scary scene would happen. I don't feel like a lot of the big set piece moments were very earned. It just felt like they were just kind of thrown in there to keep people from being bored. And that actually brings me to my next point. This movie is kind of boring. I really wasn't invested in any of the characters. The character they focus the most on is Blue Hunt's character Danny, but they sort of give you the barest of information on any of their backstories. So it makes it really difficult to empathize with them. And that's kind of disappointing because one of the aspects that I love about some of the other X-Men movies is the characters' backstories. I find a lot of them to be really interesting, and quite frankly, this movie just lacks that. You can also tell where the majority of this budget went to. There's 2 major CG scenes in this movie. The beginning of this movie starts with this big CG snowstorm and then ends with this big CG monster fight. It drives me nuts that these studios will never learn or take a chance on any other sort of third act. There's always just some big, colorful CG fight that happens in the last 20 minutes or so in all of these superhero movies. I can definitely tell that this was one of the reshoots of this movie, because looking back, it kind of makes no sense, especially because these moments both happen at the beginning and the end. So I feel like the very opening scene was just shot so that way they had some sort of reason to do the big battle at the end. I actually just put that thought together, which kind of frustrates me even more. It's just kind of painful to watch this movie, given that it was trying to do something different, didn't take that different approach. I also felt like the horror elements were really weak. Like, nothing was really scary, not any scarier than any other sort of action adventure movie. So it's really hard for me to even like refer to this as a horror movie because it's not in the slightest. To be honest, there was no reason this movie needed to take the approach that it did. As far as positives go, I like the actors, the cinematography, and the color grading looked really good. It's like the only aspect of this that really felt horror-ish. But for me, it's not enough to save this movie. So I'm going to rate The New Mutants a 4 out of 10. There's actually one more dreadful flaw in this movie. I'm not 100% sure if what I saw is what I actually saw, but in one of the later scenes, one of the characters is cleaning dishes. And I'm pretty sure that he was cleaning a cast iron skillet with soap and water. That is a huge no-no. And it's moments like these that I feel like nobody who was a part of this movie was really paying attention to any of the details. And that brings us to the conclusion of my review of The New Mutants. I'd like to thank you all for watching. You can see more of my reviews on the FilmBook website. That's film-book.com. Just search for Alex Shrednozlak. You can see other reviews and videos I've done on my YouTube channel, link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so that way you're notified as soon as new reviews are published. If you agreed or disagree with my review, definitely leave me a comment down in the comment section below. Please also consider becoming a member on our Patreon, link also in the description. Your support helps us create more engaging content. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.